Stimulus checks. We're talking about money. Let's talk about the stimulus checks. Where the fuck is it?
Where's my money?
Where's it at?
It went from 2,000 to 1,400. I just saw.
I think we got an article on that.
And now it's apparently nowhere.
Yeah. There we go. House passes resolution, and senators say Biden will negotiate on $1,400 payments. But I think this is based on. I think that number is based on how much you make. One area of compromise could be scaling back the $1,400 stimulus payments. Under the current proposal, some families earning more than $400,000 a year could get a check.
If you earn $400,000 a year, you don't need a stimulus check.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're at nearly $500,000 a year. I would kill for that kind of money. And if I was sent a stimulus check and I made that kind of money, I would hand it off to someone else. I'd go find somebody that needs it, that has a baby or recently lost a job or whatever. I definitely wouldn't keep that. That's bullshit. I think there needs to be a line where you make so much money, you don't get any of this. And sorry, not sorry. That's just the way it should be. You don't fucking need it.
I honestly don't.
I'm not going to buy you a new jet ski.
Believe anybody needs to be giving anybody any money right now. I don't think.
I don't.
You've.
But you're promising it.
You've given out $1,800 in the past year. You got to leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, let's be realistic.
Because at some point, this money that we're doling out is going to come back to kick us square in the ass.
I mean, you give me $2,000, right? That's enough to pay my bills for a month.
Shit, I'm with.
And that's, well, I say that. That's without luxuries.
Yes.
That's the basic utilities, mortgage payment, insurance. What the fuck good does that do me? It buys me a month. If I wasn't working, I'd still be screwed the very next month. So what is that money really doing? I'd rather just take the eviction notice now instead of knowing it's coming next month.
Well, you know who I feel bad for in some of these situations? Like they keep putting off, the eviction process for people.
Well, think about the owners.
Yeah.
They're getting screwed.
I've been in the multifamily, apartment business for many years, and how do you justify the fact that, let's say you got 100 apartments and 40 of your residents can't pay their rent. Well, you get a stimulus check for $1,200, but you don't use that money towards the rent. Somewhat.
Why would you?
Somewhat understandably, because you got to buy food.
But why would you if you know they can't evict you?
They can't evict you.
And if I'm still working and didn't really need that $1,200, or could have survived without it, I'm going to blow it on bullshit.
Yeah, TVs. That's why Walmart throws the TV display up for cheap.
Yeah.
Every time you hear about the stimulus check. I walked into Walmart the other day and walked down the aisle, turned the corner at the aisle where all the TVs are, where there's usually TVs out there, and there ain't a single TV in that aisle. Now,
we call them stimulus TVs.
Watch when stimulus checks come. That whole aisle, that whole main aisle right there will be lined up with televisions for you to spend your stimulus money on.
Yep.
Now, if you're one of those people who've been struggling to pay your rent, lost your job for whatever reason,
you should get that.
You can't necessarily use that money for rent.
Well, I feel
you need to buy food or clothes for kids.
I understand. That's understandable.
That makes sense.
And I think that's where the ideology behind it was. But here we go. We're giving every family a check, whether they need it or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's wrong. That's not how it works. Brotherly love. Let's talk about that. We're all United States citizens. We're all Americans. We want to help each other succeed. We want to help each other. So if I'm going to take all this money, think about it. All this stimulus money is coming out of all of our pockets. It's coming out of our taxes. So if I'm going to take my hard-earned tax money and say I'm going to give $1,200 to a fellow American who needs it, I want to give it to someone who needs it, who's going to use it for something to help their family, to help them survive. So I strongly feel like there should be a vetting process. Like me, my family. Honestly, I don't need a $1,400 stimulus check. Sure, I'll take it. But do I need it? I don't need it. My bills are still going to get paid. You know what? I didn't lose my job.
I didn't lose my job.
I didn't lose my job.
My ass off.
My wife didn't lose her job. Yes, we're still working. We're lucky enough to through all this. We didn't lose our jobs. So honestly, we don't deserve that money. Someone who needs it deserves that money, and that's just the way that I feel.
But then again, if you think about it, a majority of the ones that need it only need it because they don't want to get off of their ass and do that.
Yep.
Because they're career burger flippers.
Yep. I know, I'm not going to mention any names, but I know somebody who, I want to say maybe 6 months ago, somewhere around there, was over and happened to be at a bonfire with us and was talking about how he doesn't have to work. He filed for unemployment because of COVID. And he's getting $600 or $800 a week. But he never had a job before that. It's not like he lost his fucking job. He just said, "Oh, I can get free money." And I'm going, do you know how fucked up that is, man?
Yeah.
I'm paying for that. That's fucked up. You're taking advantage of shit that people who really need it. You're perfectly able. Young guy, younger than us, perfectly able to go out and get a job doing probably anything he wants starting off at, He's one of them young, charismatic guys. He's got a good attitude. He's smart. He just decided he was going to take advantage of the situation and get free money.
Stop taking advantage of the money. It is you are at the disadvantage when you take it. You put yourself in a disadvantage when you take it, because down the road it is not only going to bite you in the ass, but it's going to bite everybody in this country in the ass.
Every time something free, I'm throwing up air quotes, happens, other people get fucked. All the money we spent in the 90s and early 2000s, and look at Social Security now, which was supposed to be a group where everybody puts into it, and it comes out of your check. Look on your pay stub. Everybody puts into it, and then when you're old enough, you retire, then you get payments.
Kind of like you don't even get enough payment to pay a rent.
No,
pay rent nowadays
anymore.
On Social Security.
Not anymore. They're slicing and dicing it because they're using that money.
They're stealing it.
That money
is what they're doing.
When everybody gets free shit and welfare and all this bullshit, it's got to come from something. We can't just go and print money and say here's more money. We devalue the dollar bill.
So when your grandparents can't work anymore and they need to be home and they need to collect retirement and they lose their house that they've paid for God only knows how long, because
they couldn't pay
the only
taxes.
Social Security that they get is a freaking coin in a damn hat.
Yeah, because let's remember, even if Grandma Meemaw has the house paid off, she still has to pay taxes. And if she doesn't pay taxes, they come and take that shit.
No matter how long she paid on that damn thing.
No matter how long.
They take it and they auction it off to the highest bidder.
Yep. All they want is their goddamn money. That's the IRS for you.
So, if you are dodging paying rent, please understand that when this is over with, you are going to owe every bit of that money you have not paid.
So if
you've been living for a year and haven't been able to, or just haven't paid your rent, and you are $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in the hole,
you're still going to
that money is going to come due in a lump sum, and you are going to have one or two options. You're going to run from it, or you're going to have to file bankruptcy.
Yep. And if you're working, guarantee those wages are going to be garnished.
And then rent's going to go up. Then rent's going to go up from there, because all of these owners of these houses and apartments just lost all of this money.
Yep.
So now they have to regain it in order to maintain what they're. So the next person that rents, whether it's you going somewhere else, or somebody coming in on the house that you were just in and left because you couldn't afford it, are going to now have to pay more. Therefore,
and all that's going on your credit report. Absolutely. So if you leave there and you go to try to rent someone else, the minute they run it,
you ain't going to get in.
They're going to say, "Nah, fuck you," or you're going to give us,
your bankruptcy is going to be on your credit. You running from the house or apartment is going to be on your credit. You're going to be screwed.
Yep. And
think about it now before we get to the point where the pandemic is coming to an end. Or we see light at the end of the tunnel and they decide, okay, well, we're good. We'll start this phase of going back to normal. And here you are with your children being put out on the street because you owe $20,000 to somebody and you don't have a dime of it to pay.
Yep. And you're going to start crying and bitching.
You're going to look for the government to back you up, but there is not going to be any money.
There ain't going to be no fucking money there. That money's going to be long gone. So, stimulus checks, apparently they're coming.
Yeah.
But...
Well, he has no choice.
He has to. That was a promise.
Like, again, if he doesn't come through on that, if he does, now his promise was immediately.
Yeah, immediate.
So I hope there's people out there getting a bit pissed off already at the fact that you lied off the bat.
That's what pisses me off. Again, like I said, I don't need the money.
You had to sucker these people in.
Yeah, you suckered everybody in to get these fucking votes.
You got them, and you didn't pay up.
Yeah. Come through on your fucking promises.
Now
that's where I have a problem.
There are jobs.
The check. I'll tear it up. I'll tear it up on camera. I don't care. I don't need it.
Yeah.
But I want to see it. I want to see where is this fucking check that you're supposedly sending us.
I told you it was funny to me on how it doesn't affect your taxes. Supposedly, stimulus checks don't affect your taxes.
Well, it's already
you
your
don't
money
have to pay taxes on it or whatnot. Then why in the hell do you ask me whether I got the stimulus check or not when I go to do my taxes?
That's a good question.
Why?
That's a question for the IRS.
Why does it matter? Is it a like you said, is it a census thing? I mean, I don't understand why it would be a census thing. You know who all you sent the damn money to.
Right. But you know how record keeping is nowadays.
But all you got to do is go to the IRS and it shows how many people paid taxes. And if you paid taxes, more than likely you got a stimulus check.
Yeah, well,
if you
there's a lot of
there
people
was an error involved in it.
I'm fairly certain there's a lot of people that didn't pay taxes that got a check as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I was very interesting to me when I sit down to do my taxes, which, as a single person, divorced, but single person, right. I owe out the asshole in taxes.
What happens if you take that stimulus money?
I don't know.
Off
I'm going to find out. I'm going to do that.
I wouldn't file without putting it on there, but take it off and see what the numbers come up to. See if it changes. I'd be curious to hear the results of that. If the number goes up or down.
Why do you even ask me in my tax preparation, did I receive it, if it has no effect?
Yeah.
It's useless information, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you if I'm male or female because that may hurt my feelings.
Yeah. but I need to tell you that I got some
stimulus money. I saw that the other day. I was signing up for something and it asked what sex I was, and it said male, female, prefer not to say, or custom entry.
What?
Yeah. So I guess you can just put in any fucking pronoun you want for your sexual orientation now. So Biden, just come through on the goddamn stimulus checks, will you? Give the people that need it their money. I really think there should be a vetting process.
There should be.
Where only the people that fucking need it get it. Because you think about how much money would be saved.
Well, I still feel the point where if you don't give it to everybody, then it's unfair to the fact that there are people out there that unfortunately don't deserve it.
Yeah, there's a ton out there that don't deserve it.
You decide to be American when it's time to vote, and then that makes it where you deserve a stimulus check, but you're You're robbing every American hardworking person's paycheck, living off of welfare for no goddamn reason whatsoever.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to stop by the Freedom Muffin merch store at freedommuffinstore.com for all the latest gear. Use code MUFFIN10 for 10% off your order. And for you diehard fans, go to our Patreon page, Freedom Muffin. Your support is what gives us the ability to create America's best content.